Hi friends! So today I want to talk to you about 5 things I never ever spend money on. And I would also love to hear yours. There are a ton of things that I don't spend money on, or certainly don't spend money on anymore now that I'm trying to get out of debt. But these were 5 that are just like a non-negotiable of I just don't spend money on that if given the option. So I wanted to go over some of those and I hope you enjoy this video. By the way, don't forget to subscribe and like and leave a comment if you like. Those all help me on the YouTube lands, and I always forget to say it because I don't want to bug you guys with that stuff, but just the once, self-promo. Alright, so the first thing that I never ever spend money on is ATM fees, bank fees, or overdraft. So I just don't think that it should be a thing that banks charge you to keep your money there. The last time I had a banking account that charged me money to keep an account there was, I don't remember which bank it was, but it was I had it in college, and they charged me like either $6 or $9 a month just to have a checking account, which I think is nuts. There's no way that you should pay to have a banking account somewhere where they get to keep your money and they get to lend it out to other people and charge them. I don't do business with banks that charge me for accounts. It's a non-negotiable to me. When I moved to Mena, I looked up like the 3 banks around, and only one of them had completely free checking, with no limits on it or anything. One had free checking if you always have a minimum of like $500 in your bank account or something like that. And no, I went with the bank that had completely 100% free checking, because if you get to keep my money and lend it out to other people, you should be paying me, not the other way around. Now, my local bank isn't an interest-bearing account, but I keep all of my savings and all of my sinking funds and my emergency fund and everything like that actually in an online bank called Capital One 360, which is completely free and interest-bearing. So I get a little less than 1% on all of my money that stays in those accounts, which isn't a lot, but it's better than paying. So I just don't do that. I also don't pay ATM fees. I keep some cash in my wallet at all times. I also have 2 debit cards, one for my local bank account and one for my Capital One 360 account. And if the person that I'm dealing with isn't willing to accept any of and I also keep checks on me. So if the person I'm dealing with and needing to give money to won't accept any of those things, I don't really need to do business with them is generally my attitude. So I don't pay for ATM fees. I don't go to ATMs. If I need cash, I make sure to go to my actual bank's machine. And if I don't have cash on me, I'm usually pretty good about planning out, when I'll need cash and when I need money. And if I can't get to my bank's ATM and the person won't take check or credit, or debit card, then I just don't need the thing. That's all there is to it. So I never ever pay for ATM fees, bank fees, or overdraft. There's no excuse for doing overdraft. If you have a budget and if you are monitoring and reconciling your budget, you should always know how much money you have left to spend and how much money there is in your account. If you're managing your money, then there's no reason to ever overdraft. Now, I'm not judging you. I've overdrafted in the past, back before I had a budget, and it sucked, and it cost so much money. I think last time I had one, it was like $35, and I think at one point back in college, I had like 3 overdraft fees at the same time, and it essentially wiped out the paycheck that I had just gotten for the week from where I was working. Crazy mess. There's no, never again. So I always keep a little bit of a cushion in my accounts. So I never ever overdraft. And I also reconcile my budget at least weekly to make sure that in addition to planning where my money's going to go before I get it, I never ever overdraft. It's not a thing that's going to happen to me ever again. And I hope you aren't paying for those either. All right. So number 2 is movies. Last time I went to a movie theater or I can't remember the last time I bought a movie online. I don't know if I ever have. Last time I went to a movie theater was 2 years ago, at least. And I believe it was with my friends Lindsay and Sean. And Sean worked at the movie theater down in Hammond, Louisiana. So he got us in for free. So I do not I honestly don't remember the last time I paid to go see a movie. It might have been in Austin, Texas, like 3 years ago when Jamie and I just went and saw, oh crap, it was Magic Mike. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what happened. We went and saw Magic Mike in Austin when I was visiting her, and I think that was over 3 years ago. So yeah, I don't do it. It's not part of my budget. I don't think it's worth the money. With patience, everything that comes out on Netflix. That's all there is to it. With patience, eventually it's going to come out on Netflix or be available to view online if I really want to see it. There just hasn't been anything come out that I thought was worth like $8 or $10 to go see, especially by myself. I don't have a lot of movie-going friends here in Mena, so there hasn't even been the temptation. But yeah, I certainly don't pay to go out to see movies. It's expensive. If you're patient, you can just wait for it to come out on Netflix or on DVD that you can check out at the library. So that's it. And I do have Netflix, so technically I pay for entertainment. Actually, I use Jamie's account. She pays for entertainment. I pay for it sometimes, because we share. But I don't. That's not something I spend money on ever. Is actually going out to see movies or purchasing movies. I certainly don't buy DVDs. I think that's a total waste of money. I know some people that collect DVDs, but in today's streaming age, you can't even resell those. You just have a collection, and I don't think that's going to hold its value at all or give you anything back, really, when most of those movies that you've probably bought on DVD, you can stream online on Netflix or somewhere else for free. So, all right, number 3. Now, this is probably the one that hurts the most. I don't spend money on new release books, ever. I am a huge reader. I read all the time. I'm talking like 50 plus books a year at minimum. I read a lot. Now, not all of it is like War and Peace. I've actually never read War and Peace, but I just consume a lot of books. So kind of makes it sound like I'm eating them, but the verbiage is correct. I consume a lot of books. I love reading. It's one of my favorite things, but I don't pay for books anymore, with small exceptions. When I say I don't pay for books, I mean I do not pay for full price new releases. I don't care if J.K. Rowling releases another book. I did not pay for Cursed Child when Cursed Child came out, the screenplay, the printed version. I actually waited until one of my friends who bought it was done with it, and she sent it to me because she knows I don't pay for books. So I was just patient. I waited several weeks for to be able to get a chance to read it. So instead of purchasing books, I utilize my library. I use Overdrive.com, which is a digital lending. It's a digital library. You sign up with your library card, and that gives you ebooks, which I read on my Kindle, which is always right there. And you've probably seen in the back of every single one of my videos, because I read it every single day. I use my Kindle every single day to read. I also use a website called bookbub.com, which is actually an email service, or an email thing, and they send you deals on books in emails, daily emails, and there are free and there are discounted books. I never buy the discounted books. I only download free books, and what you do is you choose what categories, what genres you like, and it sends you a roundup every day, and I scroll through, and if there is a free book that looks interesting to me, I buy it through Amazon, it gets sent to my Kindle, and I read for free. And I have gotten hundreds of books that way. So I love it. I constantly have books around me that I can read, and I'm able to do it for free. The only exception to my purchasing of books is if I find books for less than $1, and it's always less than $1. I never spend more than $1 on books at yard sales or thrift stores. So I actually recently did a haul. There was a $2 bag sale at a local Salvation Army, and I did a video on that, and I got a Susie Orman book and another book, and then a couple of baby books for a friend of mine for her baby shower, all in a bag for $2. And I really bought the bag for a coat that was in there, a really nice brand new Lands' End coat and some baby clothes. So I was able to kind of get those books for free or for literal pennies. And I'll spend a quarter or 50 cents at a yard sale if I see a book that I really, really, really want. I will also resell those books to my local consignment store when I'm done with them if I don't want to keep them as part of my permanent collection. So I never spend full price on books. I never spend more than $1 ever on books now. One day in the future when I'm debt free, I will probably give myself a little bit of a book budget, but currently, nope, it's not in there because I can read to my heart's content for free if I need to through Overdrive, through the library, through BookBub, and Amazon free deals, that kind of thing. I will never be at a loss for free good books to read. So it's just not in the budget anymore, and that was a hard one because I used to spend I'd probably say about $100 a month on books when I was in college, which is one of the reasons why I'm in the situation I am now and have debt. Okay, so next up, number 4 is subscription boxes, or really any regular unplanned expense. I don't subscribe to any subscription boxes. I know some people love those. That is what they spend their personal money on, their blow money on, and they love it. Makeup lovers love that Ipsy bag type thing, and it's not in my budget to be able to just get sent a box of gifts every month. I think getting out of debt is more important than that to me, and I don't purchase anything without specifically planning out a purchase. So I never throw my money at something and not know what I'm going to get. And that's really important to me, and that has been a key to my success doing this, because just throwing money out there and then getting back something that you may or may not want, it's just not worth it for me in this current realm of budgeting and trying to get out of debt and being scorched earth as I am. I don't send money out into the ethos in the hopes that I might get something useful. I plan every purchase, every even little thing. I think, do I really need that? Do I really want to spend this much money for it? And is there a way I can get it cheaper if I really do need it? So never spend on subscription boxes or anything like that. All right. And finally, number 5, I don't spend money on interest. I never. Except for my student debt, which is currently accruing interest. So I am doing that. So big disclaimer there. But on any new purchases, I never, ever, ever pay interest. So I don't charge anything. Nothing at all. So I never, ever have to pay a cent more than the cost of the item. It's just not worth it. It's not worth it for airline miles. It's not worth it for points that I may or may not be able to redeem eventually. I'm just not into paying interest. I get to watch my student loan interest go up every single day, and I never ever want to pay interest on anything ever again. So I use cash, I use debit, I plan for purchases, and I pay for them with money, not with credit, so that I never have to pay interest on anything. So those are 5 things that I never ever spend money on. I would love to hear what you don't spend money on. And if you happen to like spending money on one of the things that I consider a never no-go zone. So I will see you soon.